Okay, basically there are two places I really wanted to go to on island. One of them was Bruichladdich. Yay! So when you arrive there, you're at the car park right across from this nice little burn, another name for a creek or a nice little river. And you can see there's always some type of repairing going on at Bruichladdich. So the banner that's still up is for the Fishy 2021. You walk through the famous gates as Mark Lene found closed, and you go over around the corner and you find this nice little picnic area. Behind that, there's the gift shop. So let's talk about that first, after we have the nice little barrels with the color. So the gift shop, they really understand merchandising. They really understand their aqua blue colors. They have their gin, the bouquet, and they have also here the Classic Laddie, they have Port Charlotte, they have a little bit of merchandise with the beanie hats there, they have Octomore. So if you look exactly at the different bottles here, I was amazed that they were a little bit older, the bottles. I actually have newer bottles of Octomore at home, but that's just my problem, not theirs. There is a 10-year-old Octomore there that was available. And so they do have some nice stuff at the gift shop. Now over here, we actually have something, the origins. We have here a little bit of organic. We have up here the 30-year-old, which was 750. Here's the 10-year-old from Octomore. And down below we have the hand fills. We actually bought, with 5 people, bought all 5 hand fills, and they were out. Yay, the Port Charlotte, as well as the normal Bruichladdich Village. So well done. Now this is actually the row of the hand fills. They filled up the 60 before they filled up the 58 and 59 because the bottle number 60, someone, one of the co-founders turned 60. And he had the number bottle 60. All right, this is the gift shop in the back. We can try some stuff. Now, what really, really, really impressed me was up on the steel girders, you actually had all these bottles that have actually been already produced by Bruichladdich. I'm not going to mention all of them, but there are 3. So if you want to skip ahead 2 minutes, go ahead. But look at all these labels. Look at all these bottles. I didn't even know, I wasn't even aware that there were so many different things. I do remember the stories Jim McEwen talks about Bruichladdich actually bringing out a new bottling every 6 months, every 6 weeks. For some people, it felt like every 6 days. And that might actually be true looking at all these different bottlings up there. So that was just one girder. The next girder is going to come up next here. And we have, of course, a little bit of the beer barley. We have some Islay barley. So for the Bruichladdich there, you have some of the rocks and the islands and all those old bottlings there. So you have the yellow submarine. If you don't know about that, I will show the picture in a moment. Beautiful, beautiful things here from Bruichladdich. Some very old things here as well they have there. It's not the best pictures. It's not the best photography in the world. A little moth decided to come along for the trip and was in front of my lens sometimes there, but that's okay. All these different Bruichladdich that I have never ever heard of, let alone ever seen. So very, very nice. Maybe you know a few of these if you recognize some that you've had or have seen. Look at the ages, 1984, 1973, 1970. Some very, very old stuff here. I actually thought about taking 2 running and seeing how fast they could run, if they could catch up with me. All right, now we're going over to the Port Charlottes again, PC5, PC10, PC8, PC9, so PC12, all these things. Now we have the new bottle design as well, which I actually like. Then we go to the Octomore. The rafters were just so high, the bottles are so high, they don't fit under the rafters, so they actually had to leave a little bit of gap sometimes there. Those are the 0.3s and the 0.4s that are the opaque bottles. and we even have here the X4, the OBA, some other things, some things I've never even heard of before. So that's that. So that's just a view. Now, some of you came actually for the distillery tour, not just a tour of the bottles. So we went shopping, of course. Everyone there bought at least one bottle. All right, the tour begins. We first start at the mill house. At the mill house, you have the silos, and then you also have the so-called computer at Bruichladdich. It's actually just a whiteboard. Yeah, I've been 1 to 6, and they write down what's in there. Here we actually have for the mill, the bobbing mill, also the computer. And here it is. They painted the bobbing mill the aqua blue. So Robert Bobby, one of the few ones that are still there. And it's belt driven. That really surprised me. I was not expecting that. So these big belts and driving that. No, the electric gears are a little bit further along. Then we moved over to the mash house. This was really interesting. So we have a nice little wort cooler there. That wasn't talked about it, but I took a picture of it. And here you actually have then that wash ton being filled. You see the rake. I'm just going to loop this 3 times. Now look at that gear, that bronze gear there. It goes around the outside. Look at the rust on the mash tun. That really kind of concerns me, but that's a. Look at the steam coming out. Look at all that energy being wasted. All right, good. We move now up to the back washbacks. We have 6 of them up there under the roof. Very nice. So they all have larch. So from an oak, Oregon pine, and here you can see the steam coming out, and it's being steam cleaned. All right, so let's move over to the still house. Actually, the Bruichladdich is a gravity distillery. It was purpose built, and it actually starts out that everything moves down with the water with the gravity. All right, so we can see some of the stills here. We have the steam coming in on the side. We have the spirit coming out on the other side. So we have number 1 here. There's 2 pairs of stills, 17,300 liters on the one. You can see it down below as well. My little belly there, that blue t-shirt I'm wearing, and the spirit still would be the 12,274, manufactured in 1973, so they will be replaced in the next couple of years, I think. Often people say a wash still, spirit still will last for about 40-some years. All right, very good here. They're not really the cleanest stills in the world. Now the spirit safe, at least from the outside, the spirit safe is very interesting. They actually have the gauges here, and they're always running about, for the wash stills, over 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so you can see the bottom of the pot stills, which I always find very fascinating. Yellow Submarine. If you do not know the story of the Yellow Submarine and Bruichladdich, please Google it. It's really worth it. It's a great story, but I'm not going to sing the song. All right, after our tour, we actually did a warehouse experience. So I love warehouses. This is a dunnage warehouse, as you can see. This is with a group that was there together, and we actually had a great time. Now, before I continue on, we actually should talk a little bit briefly about these barrels. On the right-hand side, you have a barrel that is unpainted. That means it's first fill. I do not have a barrel that is painted white. That would be second fill. But there are also all these third fill barrels here. And the third fill barrels mean that they are in that aqua, blue, the green, and they're excellent neutral holding vessels. And they just want to keep the liquid a little bit longer. All right, so we had 2 of those that had actually extended maturation periods in these third fill vessels. Now, our tour guide was Lindsay. She was fabulous. Ask for her. Fabulous. Now, this is the look outside of the distillery. Port Charlotte is on one side. On the other side, you'll see exactly what you expect with our Bruichladdich. I am absolutely in awe of what the progressive Hebridean distillers are doing there at Bruichladdich. I think it's a wonderful place to go. Great people, very open, very honest, very transparent. You do still have the fingerprint and the influence of Mark Rene there. They are still doing things. He trained Adam well. We did not see Adam there, but it's a great distillery. I am not the biggest fan of Octomore. The 3 things we had a Bruichladdich, which was nice. 17 years old. Wow. We had a Port Charlotte that was very heavily peated, more than I expected. And we had Octomore 8.2 that was matured for a further 5 years in that cask that I showed you beforehand. And that was the best. Octomore, the only problem with the Octomore, the dram that we had was the name. It wasn't peaty. All right. I hope you enjoyed the nice little tour here at Bruichladdich, a Whiskey Jason on tour. Thank you very much. Bye bye.